Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen. Here on Joyful Living, we talk about a whole bunch of different things, including what it's like being a YouTube creator. And that is what I am bringing you guys today. We are doing a YouTube creator update. Yay! And I am really glad that you're here. All right, now before we get started, let me just say that I am well aware that these are extremely challenging times for a lot of us. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. Things are just weird. So I am just gonna kind of ignore the weirdness that's going on in our world for the sake of this video, because the weirdness will be over and we are going to move forward. And some of what I'm going to say today might be helpful for you as, things that you may want to be working on or thinking about, or just sort of as you are on your own journey with a YouTube channel, or maybe you're just someone who watches YouTube and kind of likes to know the behind the scenes. I was always that person before I ever had my own channel. This is going to be hopeful, hopefully encouraging, and hopefully it will be a good way for you to spend some time today. If you are not already subscribed to the Joyful Living channel, it would mean the world to me if you would go ahead and do that. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and hit those bell notifications. That way you'll be notified every time I come out with a new video. So I have my laptop in front of me, and the channel, since we last kind of did one of these, we have grown so much. You may or may not know, if you're new around here, I actually have two YouTube channels. I have Jen Lefforge, which is my main channel, which is predominantly Disney focused, Disney Vacation Club, Disney Vacations, Disney Cruise Line, all of that. And then this channel over here, Joyful Living, is where I kind of just put everything else. It's where my running content lives. It's where my organization content lives. Those videos have been doing really, really well. The running content's actually been doing better than I anticipated. And this channel here, we're right at around 3,100 subscribers as I'm filming this. And the main channel, Jen Lefforge, now this one completely blows my mind. We are like 11,400 as I'm filming this video. And that is really bizarre to me. Ever since I passed the 10,000 mark, something seems to have happened and the numbers are just sort of exploding. So it's very exciting, and I'm trying to build momentum over there. I'm having a few little challenges on that channel, and I'm excited to share those with you guys and kind of get your feedback about them and see if some of you are going through the same thing. But let's talk about, some of the important numbers. I'm going to pull up on my laptop, and this laptop was one of my most recent purchases. And I was so proud of myself because I was able to purchase this with the proceeds from the channel. And you guys know, running a YouTube channel is not free. So now that I'm finally making enough money through the support of my amazingly generous patrons through Patreon, and then also through merchandise sales, and also through Google AdSense, through advertising as my channel is growing, I'm able to do things like purchase technology. And I just never thought, when I purchased this laptop, you guys would have thought I won the lottery. I now have a corporate credit card, because if you'll recall from our last video, I started my LLC this last year. So I have a business credit card. I was able to purchase this, and then I was able to pay it off with the proceeds from the business. Mind blown. So I'm going to go over the stats with you. Don't let me forget to talk to you about the whole process to do taxes and all that, because that's been a huge journey in and of itself, is learning how to do that, what to write off, what not to write off. There is a fantastic channel that I have mentioned before. It's called All Up in Yo Business, and I will put the link below. And she is amazing. I actually met her at VidCon, and she speaks a lot to people who have online businesses about how to protect your assets. What kind of insurance do you need? What kind of checking account do you need to set up? Do you need an LLC? Do you not need an LLC? Sole proprietorships, all of those kinds of things. And I have learned so much from Aiden. So if you have like tax and business setup related questions, definitely check out her channel. She's amazing. So I'm going to go to Creator Studio. Now, those of you who have maybe not, maybe you're new creators, maybe you don't have a channel at all yet, may not know that there's a thing called YouTube Studio. They just changed it over, YouTube did recently, and they're getting ready to get away with to do away completely with the old YouTube Studio. So if you haven't fully embraced the new Creator Studio, you really are gonna wanna do that. But on here, there's a tab called Analytics. And so I'm just gonna click over there and tell you guys what's going on. Now, what I love is, and I will actually take a screenshot of this so that I can show you guys. Then you guys will be able, I'll insert it right here so you guys can see real time what I'm looking at. So when you first log into your analytics, and some of this depends on the size of your channel, because smaller channels don't get as much information as larger channels, which I actually don't think is right. I think that a smaller channel almost needs more information because you're just trying to figure out kind of what direction to go. And I think that it would be helpful if they gave all that information to all the channels. I guess logistically, that's why they don't, but anyway, this tells me how we're doing in the past 28 days. And again, this is on my main channel. My views are up. I got 80,000 views in the last 28 days. And I have been only doing between 44 and 56. So views are up a lot, and I'm super excited about that. My estimated revenue for this month for the Jen Lefforge channel is $520.82. My subscribers are up 858. What? Like, that's insane. I don't know that I've ever had a month where I've been up 858 subscribers. So that's kind of cuckoo bananas. Watch time is at 9.8 thousand hours, which is up 3.4 thousand hours more than usual. So that's over double what I normally get. And then my views are at 82,000, which is 26,000 more than usual. So what this tells me is people are watching my videos more frequently. They're watching them for longer, and I'm getting more people to subscribe to the channel when they've watched my videos. Now, helping that number immensely is a video that I did that, I never know how to define a viral video, but I did a video that's gotten just over 20,000 views at this point about how much does Disney Vacation Club actually cost. So that one video has gained me most of my subscribers, which that's exciting. So if I go to the analytics on that one video. Now, keep in mind, this is literally on just this one video that went up, I think about a month ago, March 14th. This is on March 14th. I published this video on February 6th, and it has, I have made $171. It has given me 240 subscribers, 20,000 views, and 2.3 thousand hours of watch time on that one video. So I wish what I could stop right now and insert for you guys. Here are the 3 steps to a viral video. I don't know. I do know that my Disney Vacation Club videos do really well, and I do know that that is my niche, okay? So I know whenever I do things about DVC, they're going to do very well. YouTube has decided that I am a DVC expert, and what that means, that's not a technical term, that's just clearly what happens. Whenever I do a video about Disney Vacation Club, YouTube knows that people are going to watch it. So the more I make them and the more people watch them, the more YouTube recognizes me. And when I say YouTube, it's an algorithm. It is a robot. It is not an actual human being. The more they think, oh, she's going to do really well. So they drive more people to my channel, which helps me grow overall, if that makes sense. Now, where I am seeing an interesting dip is in my actual trip vlogs. And this is what I wanted to put out to those of you that are creators. Are you noticing this? That your actual in the parks, or if you're a travel vlogger, when you're on the road, the actual trip vlogs are not doing as well. And I don't know if it's because of oversaturation. I don't know if it's, I'm not sure why that is. But people seem to like much better my, what we would call just a talking head video, which is what this is today. Another theory I have is that a lot of people don't watch me on YouTube, they listen to me. They listen to me in the car, they listen to me when they're on a run, and obviously a trip vlog, you kind of have to be engaged with your eyes and your ears, whereas when I'm doing a talking head video like this one right now, you can just listen. So if you are someone who watches me regularly and you are more of a listener than a watcher, I would really love that information because I think it would help me know as I'm moving forward forward where to spend more time and intentionality. The struggle I'm having is the trip vlogs are getting way fewer views, but they're way more work to edit. So there's this thing we have to talk about called return on investment, right? So it's one of the main reasons why your favorite YouTuber probably quits YouTube. It is the main reason, because no one's going to do something over and over unless they're insane and not get a good response. So if the main way that they do videos is they do trip vlogs and they're out in the parks and they're working really hard, but they're not getting any views and they're not getting any money for what they're doing, they're probably going to quit, right? They're probably not going to keep up with it. I am actually reevaluating how many trip vlogs I want to do. Now, having said that, those of you that are my core audience really love the trip vlogs. So I don't ever see myself not doing them, but it does make me think about, okay, when I go to Disney, is it better for me to focus more on like restaurant reviews and event reviews and those kinds of videos, which do so much better for the channel. So that's just something that I'm kind of mulling around. So if I go to something, an analytic, I'm really intent on making sure that my watch time stays really high. So there's an analytic on here called engagement that tells you your average view duration. My average view duration is 7 minutes and 11 seconds, which by YouTube standards is mwah, like that is an ideal amount of time. Advertisers love that. It means people aren't just clicking on and clicking back off again, and I really do get engagement. So I'm really excited about that. My audience, again, I'm up 108% on subscribers. So really nothing but good to say on the second or on my main channel. It's all positive. The trajectory is up and it's doing what I want it to do. I am ever aware that YouTube is a very fickle animal. And so I never kind of rest on my laurels. I'm always trying to figure out, how do I get better? And I think that's one of my biggest tips for you, no matter where you are in your YouTube journey. If next week you're better than you were last week, you're winning. Like that's it. That's the only analytic you need to know. And when I say better, that may not even mean the numbers are supporting it. Are you better at editing? Are you getting more efficient? Are you more organized? Are you planning things out better? I try to spend a minimum of 5 to 10 hours a week on self-education. What I love about YouTube is there is so much available on YouTube. I will put down in the description box below a list of the YouTube creators that I go to learn. And then sometimes I'll just search for a particular topic and kind of completely immerse myself in that topic. Now, I know a lot of you have full-time jobs, and so you don't have time to do that. So maybe for you, it's that you're going to devote an hour a week to learning about the craft of YouTube, but you have to be focused constantly on getting better. I'm very fearful that I will plateau, and I think the only way to keep that from happening is really focusing on always trying to learn more and get more information, educate myself, and try to constantly be raising my own bar. And I no matter what the numbers say, I know that that's the case. I know I'm better educated now than I was 6 months ago. I'm much more educated than I was a year ago. And I hope to constantly be learning. And the best part about YouTube is it's constantly changing. So, educate yourself. All right. So let's go to my other channel. The news there is, less rosy, but it's also a lot smaller channel. So I'm going to do a screenshot of that for you guys. And this is my overall channel data. I'm up over there as well. My channel, the smaller channel, got 17,461 views, and it usually gets between 7,800 and 14,000. Now, it's funny because on the secondary channel, I had a viral video that blew up. It was about what it's like being married to a pilot's wife. Being married to a pilot's wife? That would be my husband is married to a pilot's wife. You know what I meant. So my statistics there are a little skewed because I knew when that video blew up that I could not keep that up. However, my subscribers are way up. I'm up 322 subscribers, which is 52 more than I was the month before. My watch time is up 807,000 hours. My views are up 3,000 more than usual. So those numbers obviously aren't quite as dramatic, but it's also a much smaller channel. So the fact that this channel has only existed since July and we are at 3,123 subscribers, I feel really good about this this channel. I also love this channel because it allows me, and I've said this a million times, but it allows me to express myself and talk about topics that don't fit on the main channel. And that helps my creativity. So to me, anything that I can continue to do to make this journey interesting for me is going to help me overall, and is going to make me more effective as a communicator, and it's just going to make me happy. So I'm loving, like my master bathroom content, the home organization content, all of that kind of stuff, the running content that I can do over here. It's given me sort of like I feel like the main channel is kind of set in stone. People know what to expect. They know it's a Disney focused channel. They know the content they're going to get. This second channel has given me like a creative space to play. Like this feels like my art studio, right? And I love creating content over here. So it is finally kind of paying for itself. My revenue is much lower on the second channel, but she's still holding her own. And again, having that space where I can stretch my creative muscles, I'm not sure that I would stay interested in YouTube if that didn't exist. So she's definitely, what do I want to say? She's holding her own. Joyful Living. And I'm really proud of the space that I have created over here. I have tons of new ideas for what I want to do over here, and it's just really, really exciting. So getting back to, I promised I would come back full circle about the tax situation. And again, do check out Aiden's channel. Put that in the link below. I'll actually put a card up here with her channel as well. But one thing to remember with write-offs, and if you're new to YouTube or maybe you're just recently monetized, I was recently watching some creators who got themselves in huge financial trouble because they had gotten the advice that you want to spend as much money as possible because you can write it off. Okay, well, a write-off doesn't mean that you don't have to pay for the things that you are putting on credit cards, okay? So I pay about 30% of my YouTube income I have to pay tax on. So every dollar that I spend that is for the channel, now be that a hotel reservation, a restaurant reservation, if I review the restaurant, right? An airplane ticket, whatever expenses I may incur, every dollar that is for the channel, I can write off that dollar, which means that that dollar is actually only costing me 70 cents instead of $1, okay? Because you're saving the 30% that you're not gonna have to pay in income tax. And I realize I may be slightly oversimplifying, but this is basically the way that it works. So don't overspend because you're still gonna have to pay for that item, but think of it as you're getting a 30% discount on the item because you are able to write it off because you did it for the business. So my revenue, I was able to file my taxes and turn everything in. And even after I wrote everything off and wrote down all of my expenses for the channel, I still posted revenue. And there's a reason why that's important, because you might think, oh, well, don't you just want to write everything off so you don't have to pay any income tax at all? No, the IRS does not like businesses that are not profitable. So if you really are taking a loss, I think my accountant said you can get away with that for a couple of years, but at some point, the IRS is going to want to see a profit from you. And I would think you're going to want to see a profit from you as well, right? Because that is our return on investment. There have been a ton of things that I have had to set up as a business that has been very time consuming. And I have a great accountant, and we also have a great financial advisor. And our accountant was very gracious with me. She was like, the funny thing is, even a very small business, you have to do a lot of the same things that a larger business has to do. And there is a lot to keep track of. I just had to pay for my registration with the state of Georgia. I keep very detailed records. I keep a separate checking account that is just for the business. I have a separate credit card that is just for the business. There are things you need to learn about, like commingling of funds. You need to learn about insurance to protect yourself. There are so many things that I did not know. And the learning curve this year from that perspective, as I've moved from kind of, YouTube for fun to YouTube as business, there's a lot of time you got to spend doing things that just aren't fun, but if you want to be successful, they are 100% mandatory. So you kind of have to look at it like cleaning your bathrooms. You don't love it, but if you don't clean your bathrooms, you can get sick. If you don't do this part of your business, you're not going to be successful. And I didn't even really know what I was spending until this year. So even that, right? Even keeping track of that, having a budget for my travel expenses, because I don't want the business to cost me money and I do want to use my resources wisely. I've got patrons that are giving me money so that I can go and research and travel and bring back things for you guys. I want to treat that with the honor. I mean, other people earned that money and then gave it to me to support me through Patreon. Or you're watching this video right now, so you're giving me of your time. Those are resources that I am not going to squander. I'm going to make sure that I am making good choices that will help me to grow the business, that will secure the business, and will also protect my own personal finances from the business. So no matter where you are kind of in that YouTube journey, it's never too early if your hope is eventually to turn it into a business to start thinking along those lines. Start keeping track of how much you're spending on your YouTube business so that you can have an accurate picture. And it's just a good habit to get into. One of the things I need to start using is an app for my phone. If you guys use one you love, put it in the comments for me. I know people use Mint, people use Intuit, but the ability to just take a picture of a receipt and then have it just go off somewhere and stay organized would be awesome, because right now I'm embarrassed to say I'm still keeping track of paper receipts. And I'm not sure that my accountant loves that. And it makes it too easy for me to lose track of what I am spending money on. So keep track of what you're spending money on in your business. And really, if it is your goal to make it a business, don't wait until you're making a lot of money. Start treating it like a business right now. And it's sort of that theory of, dress for the job you want. Treat your YouTube life like the job that you want. Treat it as though you are already making the money that you want. And I think you'll find that those things will come to you a lot more quickly. So that's been my big kind of not burden, because, I'm like, boo-hoo, poor me, she made money as a YouTube creator, cry me a river. That is not what I mean at all. It's just that it does require more time and effort than you think it's going to. And you want to make sure you have an education and you know kind of how to tackle that going in. So that's all I have to say about that. Moving forward, next phase. I said this in a Q&A, and I'm just going to put it out into the universe here as well. My goal, and I don't know when this will happen, but my new stretch goal is 100,000 subscribers. I don't know if that is at all within the realm of possibility in the next year, in the next 2 years. I have no idea. But I never thought I would get to 10,000 subscribers, and that happened. And now between the two channels, I'm like at 14,000 and something. So in my heart of hearts, I feel like that 100,000 can happen. And you know what? Even if it doesn't, I've put the goal out there and I'm giving myself something to work towards. And that is never, the way that I am wired, it is never a bad thing for me to have a goal that I can look at, and then I can line everything up against that goal and say, is this decision that I'm making going to further the business? Is it going to help me? Is it something that is going to take me where I want to go? And if the answer is no, then it makes it really easy to say no to things, to vendors that reach out, to people that reach out. If it doesn't line up with where I want to go, you need to have those parameters set up to help you with your own decision making. At least I do. And it's something that I learned years ago in my past career, and it really does help me make good decisions about my business now. All right, let's talk about you. Where are you on your YouTube journey? What questions do you have for me? How are you feeling about YouTube right now? I mean, COPPA is kind of behind us. It didn't really work out the way that we thought it would in the best possible way, but I know that was a little scary. Are you anxious about the future of YouTube? Are you feeling pretty good? I would love to hear from you. And I am considering, not quite yet, but maybe moving into the summer, starting to offer consulting services. So if you would like to get on the email list to be notified when I start doing some very small consulting, please reach out to me through my email address. It's actually in the description box below. I will put you on that email list and you will be the first to know when I launch that, which my stretch goal for that is July. I'm not sure how realistic that is because I'm doing a lot of research on what I want that to look like. But yeah, that is something that I hope to start offering very soon. I hope you're having a good day. These are tough times. We are all in this together. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep our heads up. Let's make great choices. And whatever you're doing, I hope you're finding joy. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.